A barrage of Russian missiles pounded a quiet coastal town in southern Ukraine today, killing at least 21 people, including 2 children. It happened in the early morning hours, about 50 miles from the port city of Odessa, far from any front line. The shelling battered a 9-story apartment building and a resort as residents slept. Rescue workers scoured the rubble for human remains with the help of locals.
We heard the strikes. We live close by. We came here to the site, and together with emergency workers, we helped those who survived. And those who unfortunately died, we helped to carry them away.
The Kremlin again falsely denied that it targets civilian areas. Meanwhile, in Russia, the trial for U.S. women's basketball star Brittany Griner got underway in a Moscow suburb 4.5 months after she was arrested for possessing cannabis oil. Griner entered the courtroom in handcuffs. She has been charged with intentionally importing narcotics into Russia. A U.S. diplomat spoke to reporters after attending the opening session.
I did have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Griner in the courtroom. She is doing as well as can be expected in these difficult circumstances, and she asked me to convey that she is in good spirits and is keeping up the faith.
If convicted, Griner could face up to 10 years in prison. Today, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken tweeted that he has no higher priority than bringing her and other wrongfully detained Americans home. It's been 25 years since Britain returned Hong Kong to Chinese rule, and China's leader Xi Jinping used the anniversary to defend his vision. In a speech, he emphasized the one country, two systems framework for the former British colony, now under Beijing's control. And he also rejected claims that China is curtailing its political and civic freedoms. We'll have more on all this later in the program. At least 19 people in northeastern India have died in mudslides triggered by weeks of torrential rain. Soldiers joined the rescue effort to find dozens still missing. Many were swept away in a sea of mud. This year's monsoon season has caused unusually heavy downpours, leaving hundreds of thousands of residents there homeless. A new tropical storm formed over the Caribbean today as it barreled toward Central America. The U.S. National Hurricane Center said Tropical Storm Bonnie is on track to hit the Nicaragua-Costa Rica border region, bringing 40-mile-an-hour winds and up to 8 inches of rain. It is projected to intensify and cause significant flooding over the weekend. Monkeypox cases across Europe have tripled over the past 2 weeks. That is according to the World Health Organization, which called today for urgent action to reverse the spread. Europe now accounts for about 90% of the more than 5,000 monkeypox infections worldwide. In economic news across the Atlantic, inflation hit a record high last month for the 19 countries that use the euro currency. It rose to 8.6% in June, the highest level of inflation there since record-keeping for the euro began in 1997. The surge was driven by a spike in energy costs, fueled in part by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And on Wall Street today, stocks started the new month on a higher note. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 322 points to close at 31,097. The Nasdaq rose 99 points, and the S&P 500 added 40. Still to come on the NewsHour, weather forecasters increasingly address climate change in their daily reports. Supply chain issues put a damper on plans for July 4th fireworks. Several members of the NewsHour staff discuss new books they've written, plus much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.